Hey everyone, Coach Investor here back to another video for today. So I wanted to talk a bit about the goals for 2023 for me personally, and especially for this channel, and maybe a quick recap of 2022. So maybe let's just start with that. So 2022 was obviously a very difficult year. It's actually the worst year on record since the '08 crisis. So quite an achievement, right? Now, of course, during bear markets, and for me personally, I learn much more than during bull markets. In my case, I've learned more in the last 2 years than I did in the past 4 years before that. I started investing in 2016. So I had trade wars, I had new presidents, I had obviously a pandemic, now probably a recession as well. So it really feels that I had a whole package of, well, learning lessons that usual investors will learn throughout his lifetime. I got it all in the last 6 years, but in the last 2 years, you really learn a lot. Basically, the market puts you in a fast track, a fast lane towards being a much better investor, and obviously an investor with way more experience. Of course, it hurts being down. Of course, it hurts seeing your portfolio being extremely green, and then just like that, it's completely down. But this makes me even more excited going into 2023. Well, maybe when you're watching this video, we're already in 2023, so happy new year. But I'm very excited for 2023, not because, well, I feel that we're reaching the bottom or we'll reach the bottom, but just because there is opportunity. There's opportunity, and because of the lessons that we've learned in the past, we can adapt and change. Now, if you do want a comparison, I'll give you one. If we look at the '08 crisis, we can see that from the top back in 2007 up until the bottom back in 2009, you can see that this is the S&P 500. It dropped close to 60%. So first of all, we're nowhere near the insane damage that was caused back then. Today, there was damage. I believe over $13 trillion worth of wealth or something like that was erased. So I think I saw this headline, which is crazy. But let's purely focus on the S&P 500 here, close to 60% down in just a matter of 2 years. But as you can see from the bottom in 2009, 1 year later, the stock market was up close to 83%. And if you can see right here, this is 2009. 2009 was also a recession year, what was basically the big recession year. So why do I want to show you this? It's just because the stock market usually rebounds way before everything else. It rebounds before real estate, it rebounds before the overall economy, basically. The stock market crashes the fastest and even before everything else crashes, but it also rebounds before the rest. And usually the big tech companies, the big strong companies are the ones that are rebounding the fastest and the first ones as well. So keep that in mind. And so, yes, this is also why I'm very excited for 2023, because of the opportunity that it gives us. Lots of great companies that are worth holding for the long term are down significantly, reaching very attractive prices. And so in the next 6 months, I will be deploying larger chunks of cash, larger meaning more than I did in 2022, more than I did in 2021, because of, well, the opportunity that there is there. Of course, the bottom might not be in. But to me, in the next 6 months, I do think I see huge opportunities there. So that's my plan personally for my investment strategy. Now let's switch to maybe the goals for 2023 when it comes to this channel. So as we've seen, 2022, as you've seen probably all over YouTube, usually during bear markets, you don't really have that much of a success. We did grow as a channel, we did grow as a community, but compared to the other years, we didn't grow as much. That's fine. That means that the ones that did join the channel are serious investors. Now going into 2023, what do I plan to do? First of all, if you want to see more, more interviews, more deep dives into companies we haven't covered on this channel, do let me know down in the comments below. If you have interesting companies on top of your mind, do let me know down in the comments below. I will be reading all of your comments. Well, it's what I've been doing since the start of this channel. But the plan for me is continuing to deliver quality content, continuing to delivering and following earnings reports. So you can expect that obviously later in January, beginning of February, continue to do first look videos into interesting companies, trying to bring more and more people on the channel because the interviews are extremely valuable. I'll try and bring obviously people from the Tesla community, but I do want to bring people from other industries as well. Again, if you have some suggestions, do let me know down in the comments below. Now I do want to add a couple of extra things here. First of all, I've been making some changes to my portfolio, but that does not mean that just because some companies are not in my portfolio anymore or have never been in my portfolio, that does not mean that we will not be following them on this channel. There are lots of interesting companies in the market that obviously we cannot own all of them, but maybe some of you might be interested in owning some of them. Again, there are companies I've been covering on this channel that I don't own or don't plan on owning. For example, let's say Snowflake or Twilio, but they are interesting companies to follow. So I'll continue to do that. So don't be scared if I sell something and suddenly, oh, he won't cover it anymore. No, I'll continue to cover it. I'll continue to cover obviously companies like Fiverr, Lemonade, companies that are down significantly. I don't care if they're down significantly. If I'm interested in the business and in the industry, I will continue to cover it because I also know that my viewers maybe depend on this coverage of those companies. So I'll continue to do that. Again, without you, there is no me. So first of all, thank you very much for your support. And if you're new here, maybe like and subscribe because, hey, it's a fun space here. Then, second of all, and maybe some of you might not like it, maybe some of you would love it, but I will and I plan to cover Tesla a bit more in 2023. Not just because it is my largest position by a lot, but because I am contributing to the Motley Fool. Some of you know, some of you don't know. There is a link in the description. There's also a link in the description for Seeking Alpha, huge discounts. Again, obviously I'm affiliated, but the product, I use them both. So I can say with honesty, great products, great prices. Of course, you can always cancel later on. But going back to the Tesla point, I'm a contributor to the Motley Fool. I do get way more exposure there as well because, well, it's a huge publishing platform. So I do plan on using that opportunity to tell the truth about Tesla because there is lots of, I won't say FUD because FUD is usually an excuse people use because, well, their conviction levels are extremely low, but some misrepresentation of reality when it comes to Tesla. And I do think that with my platform on YouTube and with my platform that I get through the Motley Fool, I do think that I can do a good job of representing the reality for Tesla. That doesn't mean that I will always be extremely bullish, but I'll tell the truth as it is. And with Tesla, yes, sometimes it might seem like everybody is extremely bullish because, well, let's face it, the company is growing at a tremendous pace. There might be some challenging times ahead, but the company is in a good spot. So I do plan on covering Tesla more, not on a daily basis, not even on a weekly basis, but you will hear it a couple of times per month probably, because in the past I barely talked it maybe 5 times in a couple of months, and that's about it. I do plan on changing my plan for 2023. Of course, other companies will be covered as well on this channel, Palantir, Amazon, SoFi, etc., etc. And I repeat myself, if you have an interesting company that maybe nobody covers or, well, you think is worth covering, do let me know down in the comments below. I will consider every option. Oh, and just an FYI, please don't make it a penny stock or a small cap. Look at a company that is maybe medium to large cap because those are obviously also safer bets. I know that small caps might represent a 100x opportunity, but let's try and see if you can find some interesting companies that are over a billion, maybe even 10 billion or so. I know I'm saying this while also covering Fiverr and Lemonade, but just for the sake of the research and everything else. And so that's about it. Recap, 2022, horrible year, but good year to learn from. 2023, I'm very excited for the opportunity that the market has given us. As for the channel, we'll continue to grow. I'll continue to provide as much quality information and content as I can. And let's grow together. Again, Happy New Year, everyone. And thank you very much for the support. If you enjoy this type of videos, obviously hit that thumbs up button, subscribe if you have not, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.